Hey y'all, so welcome back to the Taj Factor. I'm so happy to have you back. It's been a while, and that's for many reasons, but we're here, and so I'm ready to get started. This video, obviously from the title, you know what it's going to be about, so let's just jump right in. Number 13 is we're all on a different journey, and so to me that means you cannot compare yourself. You cannot compare your career, the amount of money you have, your spiritual, I guess where you are in your spiritual journey, or your fitness journey, your health journey, whatever journey you're on in addition to this life journey, you cannot compare that to anyone else's. I should not and cannot compare myself or my journey or any aspect of me to anyone else because it's futile. Like, we are all put here with different gifts, with different purposes, and yeah, just don't. Number 12 is there will always be challenges, but they always help us grow. So right, challenges come to help mold us into who we need to become to live out our purpose and why we were brought to this planet. So instead of trying to resist that and wishing that things were different, or always saying, oh, woe is me, or you know, it's just kind of looking for the lesson in the challenge instead, because it's here. It is what it is. It always is what it is, whether it's good or bad. We just have to figure out how to get some better perspective on it. Number 11 is this year I've learned to love myself and choose myself without being guilty. So I struggled at the beginning of the year with a personal situation in my family, and I finally chose me, and I felt so bad, y'all. I felt so bad. I cried like a baby. But in the end, I thank myself for it, because looking back, I wouldn't have come far on this journey of my spiritual journey, my health journey probably. I don't know what else could have been impacted, but I don't think I would have come this far had I not made that decision to choose me. And so that's another thing I learned, and I'm still working on choosing me every day. 10 is I shouldn't beat myself up about holding on to hope that past situations will change. And so this comes to when I find myself reminiscing or having dreams, y'all. I have these intrusive ass dreams about people from my past life, this life, but you know, the life before this one. Not like on some other plane shit, but really like undergrad, basically. I say all that to say, like, there were a lot of people that were in my life, and I was very close to them, and relationships that I had that I still dream about today. And I feel like there was still parts of me that wish that things could have been different, and maybe today there still is somewhere deep down, but I've grown to learn acceptance of what's happened, because it's all for the greater good, right? If you're holding on to an old relationship, whether it's an ex or a best friend or whatever, somebody that is no longer in your life in the same way they used to be, don't feel bad for wishing that things could have been different. But at the same time, don't get stuck there. Like, you have to move on. I've learned I have to move on to allow, there was a truck. I learned that I have to move on to open my heart and open my space to new blessings, new people to come into my life, and new experiences. Number 9 is most of us have mommy or daddy issues, myself included. This came from was it a book? I think it was an audio book that I listened to. It could have been late last year, early this year, and it was about schemas, and I learned about like the different types of schemas there are, that basically knee-jerk emotional reactions that we have in us, and they come from our experiences growing up. And I'm working toward forgiving my parents for not being what I needed them to be, and understanding that they did the best that they could at that time, given what they had to work with, which means their finances, their emotional health, their mental health, their spiritual health, and their parenting that was passed down through them and to us. So to us. And so it's just like accepting, like, damn, this is why I'm kind of messed up. Number 8 is that I am not my mind. I am not my mind to me means that I'm not the thoughts that I hear. I'm not the lies and the fears and the the repetitive things in my mind that tell me negative things. I am not those thoughts. We have to learn to use the mind as a tool, right? It is a practical tool. We were brought here with it because it helps us in the material world. You need your mind as part of, the brain functioning to help you prioritize, plan, take action, do things that bring you money. It help you live and thrive in this capitalistic society we live in, right? We need it. But it is a tool. So tools are meant to be used. Tools are meant to be used. Tools are meant to be used. They are not meant to use for us. So I have to remember that I can put my mind down sometimes and be like, okay, you've had enough. I need you to relax. I need you to chill, because I'm not even trying to go there. And so I'm getting better at choosing which thoughts I need to follow, because every thought that pops into my head, I know now that I don't have to follow that thought. Like, if there's something unpleasant, unless it's something that I know I need to deal with, I'm just like, I'm not even going there, and choosing to focus on something else. Number 7, fear is protective. Fear is a protective mechanism that we were brought here with to stop us from doing stupid things like, back in the day, walking up to a lion that you don't know because you will get eaten. Fear was meant to protect us, but since things have changed, fear has began to hold us back. And so I'm learning to understand fear and work through it and work with it, and learning that sometimes the fear doesn't go away, so you're just gonna have to be scared, and you're just gonna have to, that's where courage comes in, right? We wouldn't need courage if things weren't scary. Number 6 is back here. I think I know what it is. Oh yeah, my spiritual journey is not a straight path. Nobody's journey anywhere is a straight path. It is messy, and sometimes we take steps backwards. But I feel like when I take steps backwards, or when I feel like I'm being like faced with the same kind of issue, is because I didn't learn that lesson all the way. So there's something that God, Spirit, the universe, whatever, Jehovah, whatever you like to call it, there's something that the higher power is trying to tell me that I need to comprehend before I can move forward. And sometimes I might need to go a little deeper, or may need to get some help on uncovering what's going on. Number 5, it is okay not to be okay. I'm gonna drink this tea. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of times on social media, everybody looks happy, nobody looks depressed, nobody looks anxious, nobody looks like they're dealing with so many things, and we all are, and that's okay. Don't let the world make you feel like you're crazy or something's wrong with you because you have fluctuating emotions and you're not always good. Don't beat yourself up about it, because it's natural and it's human. Number 4 is when I feel heavy emotions, I have to try my best not to identify with it. Hey, and that kind of goes back to the whole mind thing, because feelings are like navigators. So that goes to number 3. Our feelings are not who we are. They're part of a guidance system. I'm just gonna read this because I wrote a lot on this. So it says, instead of trying to drown or avoid them, I should do the exact opposite. So I'm learning to sit and listen to what God is trying to tell me. And then from this space, it gives me power, because once you become aware of that there is an issue, you can then uncover the issue, and it's painful and it takes work, it takes silence, and sometimes it takes a therapist. And you have to figure out what is eating away at you, what is hurting you, and what is holding you back. And so from that space, you have more power than, I have more power than I think. I don't like saying you, because I don't want to preach to y'all. Like, this is about me, but I already explained that. I just keep going back to the, like, don't say you, because you're not preaching. Y'all know I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to preach. I'm just sharing what I learned, hoping that it helps somebody. So anyway, number 2, it's okay to change your dreams. So I've wanted many things in my life. I'm still on the fence about a lot of things, unsure about a lot of things, but I do know what I don't want. And so that's something, but it's okay to not always have it all figured out. I'm learning that because I was always that person. Like, I knew, I had it planned. And of course it never works out. And so I'm just kind of learning that it's okay. It's okay to redirect. It's okay to not necessarily give up, but it's okay to quit a certain thing to move on to something that you feel is more aligned with who you are now. And number one, acceptance of life makes it easier to navigate, maintain peace, makes you stronger. And basically, bottom line is resistance to whatever is going on in your life equals more stress, and that stress leads to repeated lessons because you're not getting it. When I find myself resisting something, I'm like, why? Like, why am I pushing so hard against what I'm supposed to be learning? And so I still resist, and I still have to remember not to resist. My intentions for 2021, so I'll just bullet style real quick, wrap it up. Number one is to find my purpose, or at least move closer to my purpose. Number two is to be more intentional about healthy eating and healthy habits in general. Number three, I want to spend more time reflecting and doing inner work. And then number four is I want to learn how to let people be there for me and be more vulnerable, because I am missed, I am fine, everything's fine. I mean, not everything's fine, but I'll be like, no, I got it. You know, I feel like I have to do everything on my own. I have to heal myself. I have to take care of myself, which I do, you know. I have to basically do everything on my own. And that is simply not the case. We were all brought here to support one another, to love one another, to be there for each other. And I have to learn that everybody is not out to get me. So hopefully y'all got something from this video. My neighbors are outside and I don't want to have y'all listen to all the noise around. So I'm gonna go now, but thank you so much for coming back, and Happy New Year.